Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and the idea of can we finally get a relief rally. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we've discussed the ideas of a relief rally for the last couple of weeks. And so far, we have not gotten one. We've had brief moves to the upside, one where it took us up to around 40K, 41K, but we have not had anything substantial that has taken us back up to some prices closer to $45,000 to $50,000. And what's interesting about those levels is if we could get a rally to those levels, then again, it would imply going to our bull market support band. If you want to look at the 20-week SMA, this is on the daily time frame, it could imply going back up to that level. Now, we don't typically talk about the MACD on this channel. In fact, I've never spoken about it on this channel, and the reason why is because generally, basically every other channel covers that already, and I wanted to try to present other things on my channel rather than what's covered elsewhere. But there's obviously, everyone's wondering, are we going to get a relief rally at the very least? Obviously the implication as well, is it just a relief rally? Would it actually take us back to new all-time highs? Or is it just a relief rally in a larger downward trend? So the reason we're talking about the MACD now is because we just had a cross here, which tends to indicate some level of bullishness. You can see that for the last several weeks, we've been somewhat bearish. We just had a cross, okay? Now, in the past, when we've had crosses like this, after a pretty large sell-off, so this was a very significant sell-off, Bitcoin essentially lost 50% of its value. Let's go back in time and look to see, well, what has Bitcoin done after crosses like this, after a major sell-off? Well, here was a cross after a major sell-off. This was in March of 2020, and you can see that the price of Bitcoin turned it up for a while. If we go look at, say, the sell-off that we had in 2017, okay, so in 2017 we had this massive sell-off, and the cross here, from the cross of the MACD, the price of Bitcoin was able to rally about 33-34% from when the MACD crossed. Now, the general trend was still down, but it did not stop Bitcoin from putting in a 33% move. If we were to go to the present time, what would a 33% move look like from the cross that we just had? What would that look like? Well, from the current prices, a 33% move would in fact take us to around 50K. Okay, so if we were to see a similar move, it could take us back to 50K. Now, if we do get a relief rally that takes us back to those levels, I don't think we're necessarily out of the woods. If you want us to resume bullishness for Bitcoin in the event of a relief rally, we would then want to hold the 20-week moving average as support. So again, this is the daily MACD, just the daily. The reason that there suggests that the momentum is still trending down over, say, a multi-week time period is if you go look at the weekly MACD, you can see we have not had a cross to the upside here. Okay, we had a cross to the downside and we broke down. And the best way to understand this indicator is probably just to look back in time and see what it did at other phases. Okay, so back in 2017, we had that cross on the weekly and we did not change course really. They sort of flirted with each other over here. Here was a fairly decisive cross, and this started this move back into the 2019 run that we saw. But the daily cross we know occurred somewhere over here, and that was what led to that 33% move. But the overall trend was down. So one of the ways we could look at this is to say, well, it seems like at the very least, there could be a relief rally based on the cross on the daily time frame, but it doesn't necessarily imply that we have to put in a new all-time high, because on the weekly time frame, we're still somewhat bearish. Like, there has not been a cross back up to the upside on the weekly time frame. So I'm not a day trader by any stretch of the imagination, and looking at these things on, on daily time frames with like the MACD and stuff, it does not influence, the way that I navigate the market, right? It does not influence the way I navigate the market. Obviously, Bitcoin pulling back such a significant amount does offer the ability to purchase Bitcoin at a significant discount from what it was just a few weeks ago. But the reason why we're showing this video is to not say that we have to get a relief rally, because we also discussed the implications of relief rally last week and the week before. The reason I'm bringing it up again is because, well, we finally have a cross on the daily for the MACD, and is the idea that we're going to get a few days where we generally move up rather than a consistent and a persistent move to the downside. So we had a cross on the daily. The first thing to look for would be a relief rally. And then if we do get that relief rally, the idea will be, well, can we get back above the 20-week SMA and hold it as support, or will the trend continue on the weekly time frame where we go down? And then when you switch over to the weekly, will that overarching trend still go down for many more weeks to come? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this analysis. We've never talked about the MACD before, but if you guys like it, let me know. Maybe we can talk about it a little bit more. Regardless, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember to check out the sale on the premium list if you want access to how I'm navigating these markets. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.